Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of the Nothing to See Here podcast. Hi, it's Frankie.
It's Hannah.
Why does my clear coat keep getting chunky? I hate this.
I can't answer that question because I've never put anything on my nose.
You either don't use it often enough and it's gotten old, or it's just cheap.
It's probably the cheap one, but whatever. My base coat that I have is fine. Top coat is a pain in the ass. Anyway, so I had a date today.
Same guy as last time?
No, different guy.
First date, then?
Yeah.
All right. How'd it go?
It's fine. We went to a diner that just also happens to double as a pharmacy.
So you can get super high and then enjoy the food.
Yeah. This is a very weird, juxtaposition for me, but it wasn't too bad.
Did you get something expensive, like an omelet?
I got, the big breakfast thing, which was, eggs, potatoes, bacon, and, a giant-ass pancake that was as big as my head. Bigger than my head, I think.
Sounds like a good meal, to be fair.
It was. So even if I never see this guy again, I at least got a good meal out of it. And it's a cash-only place, so you know it's good diner food.
That is true. The only places I've been that are cash-only are, fantastic places.
Mm-hmm. So that's what I did. And then I played Epic Mickey Rebrushed for a little bit today.
Sounds like a good day.
It was. It was not a bad day. Have you ever played Epic Mickey, Frankie?
I played the original when it came out.
Ugh, such a good game.
It's an alright game.
It's a fantastic game.
It's like a 7 out of 10.
You know what? That's fair.
All right,
I was thinking about arguing with you, but I'm not.
Before we get into the meat of the episode, this is going to be a little intro for Hannah here to jump off of.
Mm-hmm.
Amanda, you have your big project, of course, with watching every Disney movie.
Right.
And torturing me and Hannah with some of those shit films.
Okay, you cannot say anything anymore.
Hey. I'm not done talking. I'm not done yet. Let it happen. Let it happen. I have my big project, torturing you and Hannah, making you watch 1990s wrestling.
Mm-hmm.
And we're watching a company that died, and we're watching a part of it that's not funny bad or good yet. So I'm torturing you with that.
That's fair. You know what? I'll accept that. I'm glad that you know what you're doing.
I know what I'm doing, yeah. We all torture each other with some of the Scooby-Doo shit we've had to watch. And now, Hannah, you can torture us with your long-form project.
Was this really that torturous?
I'm going to let you know right now. I watched this last night with Amanda.
Yeah, we were together.
And this movie on my list is on my list of movies that I've watched this year. It is number 8. It got a 2 out of 5. It is only above Wolfman, which was a very bad movie, and Melody Time.
You should preface this by stating that you went to a party on Friday.
Oh, yes. Okay. I went to a Valentine's Day party on Friday. And the person who hosted it asked me about it because I'm in a Discord with them where we put our movie rankings for movies we've seen through the year. And they know about the pain of watching some of these Disney movies because the bottom of my rankings is just the fucking trash Disney movies that we've been watching.
Mm-hmm.
And they asked me, what is the worst one I've watched so far this year? And I was talking about Melody Time. And then I said, but we have a new project, so all new movies that are going to be added, because I've never seen any of these for Hannah's project. And I told them what one we're watching. Hannah, you should introduce this so I can say things about it. And then I'll finish the story.
Amanda has Disney. Frankie has WCW, Monday Nitro. And I have...
the full name. You didn't need to say the full name.
Amanda has Disney. Frankie has WCW, Monday Nitro. And I
Again.
have the Barbie films.
We didn't have to say
The
before
Barbie films. The Barbie films. I have a question before I finish this little little anecdote.
Yes.
Is this going to include the live action Barbie movie? The animated one.
I was going to do just all the CGI films.
The animated ones.
Yeah. We could review Barbie starring Margot Robbie in the future just for fun, because that is a good film.
It's a great film. I very much enjoyed that movie.
Yeah, that's a good film. On the list, I just have the animated films Mattel did beginning in 2001 and going, it's continuing still, so I don't know how long this is going to take us.
Yeah,
they're still busting out some films.
They're still busting out films? I did not know that.
The next one that is scheduled to be released is on March 6, 2025, Barbie and Teresa, Recipe for Friendship.
I don't even know if that one's on my list.
That's going to be a cooking movie, right?
If
it's not like about a cooking competition.
Could be baking.
Or baking competition, then what are we doing with our lives here at Barbie? But, so, I told everyone, Hannah's doing her long form project now, the Barbie movies. And they said, oh, so you're starting with Barbie and the Nutcracker. I was like, yes, we are. I've not seen it before. And
no spoilers.
a bunch of them said that it was the best one.
That is a lie. That is an outright lie.
I told Amanda this after we watched the movie, and I was like, if this is the best one, I'm like, where are we going from here?
Yeah.
That was I also told lie that they told you, because Princess and the Pauper exists.
That's what I told him as well.
That's also the one that Amanda cited as being way better.
That is legitimately the best one. If you ask any Barbie fan, they're going to say Princess and the Pauper is the GOAT.
Yeah.
Some of them said this is the best one. The others said that this was a good one. And I was like, I don't know. I didn't think this was good at all. But, well, Hannah, it's your thing. So please guide us through Barbie. Why Barbie, first of all? Why the animated Barbie movies? Why did you choose this?
Why did I choose Barbie? Because I wanted to do something from my childhood that was not Disney or Scooby-Doo. I had contemplated making us watch Winx Club.
I'd kill you. Watch
every single episode and movie of Winx Club, because that was my shit growing up. But I thought that was too much. And I was going through my list of topics that I wanted to cover, and on there I had the early 2000s Barbie films, intending just to review the ones I grew up watching before I outgrew Barbie. And then I went, no, let's do them all. But now I need to add Winx Club back into the mix just to torture Amanda.
I'm not. I will quit the podcast before. I can't go back to that time in my life.
Winx Club's gotta be a good, that's a good topic, I think.
I can't go back to that time in my life.
What do you have against Winx Club?
I refuse to talk about it.
Well, I won't traumatize Amanda tonight. So let's dive into Barbie in the Nutcracker. This is technically not the first ever Barbie film. I do have to come clean. We're not starting at the beginning, because there were 2-hour-long specials from the 80s, but I don't want to talk about them because the CGI films from the 2000s are my childhood. There are pretty Barbie dresses to look at. The plots in these films are wild. Barbie just loves to overthrow totalitarian governments in the movies. We need to bring that version of Barbie back, if you ask me.
Oh, I did have all of these dolls.
Okay, I was going to kind of ask because I know I did have some movie tie-in dolls.
I had all of them.
You had all of them?
Up
for
until
this movie or for all the movies?
Up until let me look at Barbie movies. Give me a second. I'll get back to you. Give me a second.
I mean, we're not there today, but I had the singing dolls from Princess and the Pauper that would sing together.
I also had those.
Those ones were the best. I don't
I
know
had
if
the
I had
princes with them. I had the castle. I had the kitties. Yeah, I had it all. I was very spoiled.
Yeah, you were.
I have it.
They were expensive.
Yeah, I have up until uh, B- Barbie and the 12 Dancing Princesses.
Okay. That one, I always feel like that one came out earlier than it did. I don't know why.
2006, and then I was like, I'm too old for Barbies.
Yeah. Yeah. I vividly remember, like, Barbie Fairytopia in 2005, and then I know I watched 12 Dancing Princesses in 2006, and after that I just, like, I'm too old for this now. But in 2001, peak Barbie time for me. Mattel began its in-house entertainment division that year, and they started fairly simple when it came to their films. The creative team took Barbie and they placed her into well-known fairy tales and other pre-existing stories. That's why you have Swan Lake, Rapunzel, the Nutcracker, all those well-known fairy tales and well-known Barbie films all came out very early on in the Barbie cinematic universe. No original Barbie story was released until 2005 with the Barbie Diaries. And as we said, Barbie and the Nutcracker was the first film Mattel Entertainment produced. They worked with the Canadian studio Mainframe Entertainment, who did all the CGI work. The film was released on VHS on October 2nd, 2001, and on DVD on October 23rd, 2001. Barbie and the Nutcracker was aired on television a month after it released. It premiered on CBS on November 22nd, 2001, where it was edited down to a 1-hour special.
I wish I could have watched that version.
Shut up.
I can't wait to hear what your thoughts are as we go through this plot later. To no one's surprise, Barbie and the Nutcracker is based on E.T.A. Hoffman's short story, The Nutcracker and the Mouse King. And it's also heavily inspired by Tchaikovsky's ballet that we all know, and I think most people love.
Yeah, I guess.
Yeah, I'm like, I never went to the ballet to watch it, but I'm like, it's good, I assume.
Well, I mean, we did find out watching Fantasia that nobody had heard about it, or it had fallen through.
No
like,
one liked
the
it. They thought it was
cracks.
shit.
No one liked it in the 40s.
Yeah.
2000s, different story.
Yeah, now it's like everyone thinks it's like it is popular now, so everyone thinks it was always popular.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Barbie and the Nutcracker was directed by Owen Hurley, and it was written by Linda Engelspien is how I think it's pronounced. I'm sorry. I did look up pronunciations, but that one got me a lot. Hilary Hinkle also helped write the film. The film stars Kelly Sheridan as Barbie, Kirby Moorer as the Nutcracker, and Tim Curry as the Mouse King.
Frankie asked me who was playing,
I wanted
Tim
to know
Curry
who
was.
No, I knew who Tim Curry was, obviously,
in the
as soon
film.
as he starts speaking.
Oh, yes, yeah.
I was asking about the other voice actors, because I wanted names, and I looked at the cast list, and I clicked on them, and most of them have Wikipedia pages, and they have extensive filmographies, extensive voice acting careers, and I just want to know why none of them gave any effort in this movie.
Damn! Okay.
Like,
I did.
I don't know if I have the worst line read than the first line we hear from the actual Nutcracker himself. And Kirby Morrow is like a great was a great voice actor. He was Moroku from Inuyasha. He was Cyclops in X-Men Evolution. He was Goku in one of the dubs of Dragon Ball Z. He was the main role in Lego Ninjago as Cole. He was a fantastic voice actor. So was Kelly Sheridan. These are all like really good voice actors, and it felt like none of them were trying except for Tim Curry. Tim Curry gives his all for everything he does, though.
He does. I feel like sometimes Tim Curry's just hired and put in a room, and they're like, do whatever you want, and then they write a movie around that.
Fair. Tim Curry's just so good.
I couldn't answer Frankie other than the only thing that I said was, I don't know who plays Prince Eric, but I know that he killed himself, so that was the only information I could provide him. That, and apparently Frankie did not know that Kelly was Barbie's sister.
I know Barbie had a sister.
She has multiple sisters.
I said that as well.
Jesus, I forgot about that.
I'm gonna find you a Barbie family tree video online and send it to you. And then I'm gonna quiz you on it. Okay, cool.
I'll send this over right now.
I'm not gonna remember it.
We're gonna quiz you before the next episode.
I'm not gonna remember any of it, but I'll go off, I guess.
She's a huge ass family tree.
It's alarming.
Yeah, it's ridiculous.
And I know that someone in Mattel is just tasked with being the Barbie historian and memorizing her family tree. Back to our film. Just one more little piece of production information before we get to the actual plot. But New York City Ballet Master-in-Chief Peter Martins was the choreographer for the film. Ballet dancers were filmed using motion capture imaging, and this technique has been used for all of Barbie's ballet films. And fun fact, Barbie and the Nutcracker was the first animated feature film to use motion capture technology. Maria Karowski and Charles Asgard, two New York City ballet dancers, took on the lead roles of Barbie and the Nutcracker, respectively. Benjamin Millipede, Nora Y. Mulman, Abby Stanford, and Janie Taylor also danced in the film. Now let's crack in.
Oh no. Oh no.
Did you see the time on the video that Amanda sent?
No, I was saying oh no at your pun, but...
Oh, that pun was totally unintentional.
Oh, it was? Okay.
It was. That's literally just what I say when I finish off synopsises, or the synopsis when I'm writing for my blog.
Oh, okay.
I speak
All
English
right.
well.
Okay.
So,
all right.
That's just my go-to transition.
This is 17 minutes. This is a 17-minute video about Barbie's family.
Yeah, I know.
I thought it was longer.
I'm counting, like, the siblings. I've lost count, Frankie.
Alright, well, we'll figure that out later. Let's crack into this movie. I've stolen Hannah's line.
I hope your pun was intentional, Franklin.
That one was intentional.
Good. The film begins with the opening credits. A jump scare, really?
Those fairies frightened me.
Are they your sleep paralysis demons?
They might become them, yeah. The animation is bad in this movie, and them just fucking jumping out at me was not expected.
So two tiny fairies appear. One being Kelly as a winter fairy, and the other is a spring fairy. I think the spring fairy is also one of Barbie's sisters, but I can't think of her name.
Give me a second. I'm doing the Barbie lore on this. So okay. I have the Barbie Wikipedia page, or sorry, not the Wikipedia page, the Barbie Wiki page.
The Barbiepedia.
Barbiepedia, my favorite source for tonight.
Already up and running. So,
while you look for the name of the spring fairy, I'll let the viewers or listeners know that as the credits roll, the two fight each other, turning the screen from spring to winter and back again. Honestly, I like the opening credits because it's interesting. It made me want to actively watch the credits as a child because something was happening.
It is Jenny as the flower fairy. Barbiepedia says, who is Jenny? Who is Jenny? Jenny is one of Kelly's friends.
Okay, so not Barbie's sister. They never dropped Jenny's name, so I, as an adult, forgot. I'm sorry.
It's okay. She's not listed as anything other than Spring Fairy.
That's what I thought. So the two fight, and then we cut to a ballet studio. Barbie and Kelly are practicing a number from the Nutcracker. Barbie is killing it, as is expected. And Kelly, she's struggling. She's struggling a little bit. She's a little discouraged because she's not as good as Barbie, and she's having a hard time remembering all the steps.
And so Barbie, being the great teacher that she is, just goes,
She's
just do this, and does some complicated dance moves. That'll help.
Yeah.
yeah.
I did feel for Kelly a little bit.
Listen, maybe Barbie's not the best ballet instructor, but she is a pretty good big sister because she does stop practice to sit down with Kelly and give her encouragement. She tells Kelly that she just needs to keep practicing because that's really the only way to get better. She does say that a lot kinder than I would, but I am an only child, so that's to be expected from me.
Yeah, I figure skated with a bunch of girls, okay? And while we were friends and stuff, and I definitely had some younger girls with me, I think I would have just, like, been like, stop fucking crying, and, like, do it right or don't do it at all.
Grow up, dummy.
Yeah.
A little 6-year-old, stop crying, just do it.
Yeah, I think I would have been like that.
Oh, your feet hurt? We got a whole show to do.
Yeah. Sorry if your feet are bleeding.
Yeah, Barbie doesn't yell at Kelly. She tells her that she needs to have courage because Kelly admits to being scared of freezing on stage and forgetting all the moves. And that's understandable.
That's a real...
Kelly's just a step above a toddler, and she's dancing in the Nutcracker, probably for the first time. This is probably like the first big dance recital she's ever had. So Barbie's story is our frame narrative.
I was blown away by this.
Did you just think they were going to dance the Nutcracker?
No,
Please.
I legit thought they were just gonna, like, you know, like how whenever, like, you do a Nutcracker movie or whatever, you do, like, not a movie version of the ballet, but you tell the story, and occasionally, sometimes they'll be dancing, and sometimes they want to dancing. I had no idea the Barbie movies were thrown in framing devices.
So you're saying this film started out strong with this frame narrative?
I thought strong's a narratively strong maybe. But yeah, I guess so, cause like I wasn't expecting that. I thought they were just gonna be like, hey, you guys know the story of the Nutcracker? It's that, but with Barbie, and that was it.
Have a little faith, Frankie.
I mean, I saw the animation at the beginning, and
You're just like, I don't want to continue. Did you scream? Did he scream, Frank or Amanda?
Did he scream about what?
When Kelly and Jenny popped up on the screen.
I jumped.
He didn't scream, but he went, Jesus Christ!
Yeah, I did do that.
So I do have some lore about Barbie sisters real quick.
Oh gosh, okay.
Alright. So Barbie right now has 3 sisters.
Yes.
That's not that many.
Kelly, Stacy, and the third one I don't remember.
Oh, no, Hannah. There is no Kelly no more.
Oh, that's right. She goes
Kelly
by her middle name now or something.
No. So there's
Oh my
Skipper.
God, they killed her.
So there's Skipper. She was originally 8, but then she was changed to 14 years old with the growing up Skipper doll that moved like...
That's right. I forgot about her.
Yeah. Then there's Stacy. She was introduced as Kelly, but later reintroduced as Stacy. And then there was Kelly, also known as Shelley, but now currently known as Chelsea.
Dude, what the fuck?
And there are 2 twin boys, Tootie and Todd, who were the younger twin brothers of Barbie. But they were discontinued. And Chrissy Roberts, this character is an infant and only intermittently included in Barbie's sibling lineup. So there is an infant.
Barbie's parents need to learn about condoms.
Barbie's parents are George Roberts and Margaret Rollins Roberts.
So Barbie has a last name, Barbie Roberts.
Yeah, well, technically, Barbie's full name is Barbara Millicent Barbie, nickname, Roberts.
I don't like that. I'm learning too much lore.
And Ken also has a little brother named Tommy, who we see as the gingerbread boy.
Nope, he doesn't. That kid doesn't have a name. His name isn't Tommy. They're lying to you. The name in the credits is officially Gingerbread Boy.
But Ken's full name is Kenneth Sean Ken Carson.
That kid's name in the credits is Gingerbread Boy, so they're lying to you.
Mm-hmm.
Mattel is lying to you, America.
Mm-hmm. Oh my god. And out of, like, aside from Barbie, the sibling with the most friends is fucking Kelly and Chelsea. Jesus fucking Christ. Oh my god. Man, this lore has gotten so deep.
I have sent Amanda on a deep dive. She's gonna stay up all night on Barbiepedia.
It's intense, y'all.
I feel like the Barbie fans are gonna come for me after this because I barely did any research tonight.
It's okay, that's why I'm here.
Okay, cool. They'll protect me.
Yeah, they can be mad at me.
Back to our film, we've transitioned to an old Victorian home that's decked out for a Christmas party. We meet Clara, the protagonist of our film, and her brother Tommy, who live with their grandfather Drosselmeyer because their parents are dead. Clara is busy decorating the Christmas tree, and Grandpa Drosselmeyer is upset because a guest arrived half an hour early. Also in the room currently is a maid. She's helping Clara with the decorations. She pulls a gingerbread box or a gingerbread house out of a box and then complains that a mouse found it and ate part of the house. Maybe you shouldn't keep edible gingerbread ornaments tucked away year after year. Maybe you should eat them or throw them out.
I didn't even realize she opened the box. I just saw her pull up a gingerbread house, and I was like, why is she yelling about the mice getting into the box?
Yeah, you wrote Christmas. She called it Christmas boxes.
Yeah, and I was like, that's not a box. It's just a gingerbread house. It opened to the air. Of course the mice got to it. Fucking dummies.
Well, we find out it's not even a mouse who ate the gingerbread because Clara pulls out a little gingerbread man ornament who's missing a leg, and she realizes the bite marks are human teeth, and she then reprimands her brother Tommy.
That cookie's gotta be gross.
Like, why is this child eating dusty, crusty old gingerbread? Was he locked in the attic and needed sustenance? Clara then just threatens her brother with a bath, and then he runs away. And into the room walks Aunt Elizabeth. And I aspire to be this woman because she's the rich aunt who just travels the world and has no kids. That's all I want to be in life. And she has just returned from China. And since it's Christmas, she comes bearing gifts.
Which the grandfather doesn't believe is a real country.
No, he was like, you were where?
And he keeps saying, oh, she's making up stories. Dude, she's talking about China. It's real. I'll get you a globe.
It is a real place.
She's like, I can point it out on a map, Dad. She gives Clara a nutcracker, which Tommy then breaks. Girl
now that I
even
know,
had it for a minute.
Now that I know Gingerbread Boy's name is actually Tommy, this Tommy that is Clara's, like, brother feels like an imposter.
I thought the gingerbread boy's name was Todd.
That is not Todd.
It says Tommy on the wiki. Okay.
His name is Gingerbread Boy.
I just refer to him as Boy.
Well, his official name is Gingerbread Boy, so.
Okay. You know, it's just a cute little nickname. Back to imposter Tommy. He broke the Nutcracker's arm, and then Clara puts it in a sling like it's gonna magically heal.
Yo, wait a minute. This is fucked up. Okay. So, Todd is in this movie, but Todd is Tommy.
Who the fuck is Todd?
Todd is Tommy.
Who's
and
Todd?
Gingerbread Boy is Tommy.
Who is Todd? You're just saying names.
You're gonna break Frankie!
Todd is one of Kelly's friends. Hold on.
I don't care about Kelly's friends. I barely care about Kelly.
This is too good. Oh, no, wait, Todd is Barbie's little brother.
Yeah. And Todd is playing the Tommy who breaks the Nutcracker's arm.
Right, he's playing imposter Tommy.
Okay. And then Ken's little brother, Tommy, is playing Gingerbread Boy.
Right. Are you keeping up with this, Frankie?
No.
This is important lore.
Alright.
Time passes, and Clara is passed out on the couch of the parlor. Her whole family just leaves her there because she's 16, and that's past the age where you get to be carried to bed. At midnight, magic begins filling up the room. We see good magic first in the form of gold glitter. Then we see bad magic in the form of blue glitter. And we know this is the bad magic because the rat army comes crawling out of the mouse hole. The good magic brings the Nutcracker to life, who then charges off to fight the rats.
Clara will just start vandalizing the Christmas day.
Yeah, Clara wakes up because a rat is right at her ear eating a cookie. And then she sees what's going on.
It is a gingerbread cookie. You cannot be mad at that mouse.
I can be mad at that mouse. That mouse is they're destroying Christmas.
Christmas is where, it's not about the gifts, Frankie. It's about family.
Yeah, but the family put a lot of effort into these decorations, and they're breaking them.
You haven't seen How the Grinch Stole Christmas, then.
I have seen How the Grinch Stole Christmas. And the Grinch is the villain at first, and then becomes the hero because he realizes he's doing wrong.
Yeah, but even without the presents, they were happy, and they got in a circle, and they sung.
Someone still had to pay.
That part?
Someone still had to pay for the repairs. Things were broken.
So Clara's awake now. She looks around the room and sees what's going on. Being the Nutcracker has gained sentience and is fighting Tim Curry. I will not be referring to him as anything but his full name of Tim Curry throughout the entirety of tonight's episode.
Tim Curry as the Mouse King. Tim Curry, yes.
Yes. Tim Curry is about to win the fight. He's going to decapitate the Nutcracker, but Clara comes over and stops him, and she is about to bludgeon him to death with a vase.
Hey, Hannah? Is that Tim Curry?
I want you to know that is the name of tonight's episode. I've named this episode already.
We have to explain where this
We
came
have
from.
to now.
So, this was probably in college.
Yes.
Yes.
This was like 2016, 2017.
Yeah, it was very early on undergrad in college. And we had a friend named Sunny who had never watched the Rocky Horror Picture Show. So we decided to go to the Mediasphere and watch it together. And I kid you not, like 3 separate times, he was like, is that Tim Curry? And like,
he
thought
for every single character before Tim Curry first makes his appearance as Dr. Frankenfurter.
Yeah. He was just like, because he knew Tim Curry was in it. And he's like, is that Tim Curry? Is that Tim Curry? And then when he finally showed up, he's like, that's Tim Curry. We understand. So we have made it a running joke to always ask, is that Tim Curry? Because Sonny could not figure out who was Tim Curry in the Rocky Horror Picture Show.
So yes, the Mouse King is Tim Curry.
He is Tim Curry, yes.
We'll see him again in a few weeks as author dude with a ponytail.
Right.
I can't think of the character's name.
Is it Jonathan?
I don't remember. We'll find out in 3 weeks.
Yeah, that's when we'll find out.
Okay, cool.
All right, because he's in Scooby-Doo.
Yeah, that was the whole reference there.
And I will refer to him as Tim Curry in that episode as well, and not the character's name.
As long as we just say what he is once, I think we're
fine. Yeah.
He's a mouse. We all know what he's doing.
He is chewing the scenery as the Mouse King currently.
Yes. And the only one, according to Frankie, who tried. Which I would like to think that is not Tim Curry trying. That is him just, like, winging it and being amazing at it.
Maybe, but he's still better than everyone else.
When is he not? Name me a performance or a film where someone does better than Tim Curry?
Any Tim Curry movie.
I can't.
No. Yes.
Exactly.
Not off the
That's
top of
impossible.
my head.
So Tim
Yeah.
Curry decides
It can't
he needs to even out the playing field, and he uses his magic scepter to shrink Clara down to his size. Then the Nutcracker saves Clara. And as she is running up some garland on the fireplace, Clara then gets to save her man by hitting Tim Curry in the head with her shoe. Her shoes must be made of lead because Tim Curry is out cold.
Impeccable aim, too.
Yes, for just flinging a shoe off her foot.
I've never flung a shoe purposefully and had it land exactly where I wanted it to.
Was it ever in the general vicinity of where you wanted it?
Absolutely not. It was at least like 3 feet away from where I wanted it. That shit doesn't happen. I call hacks.
Tim Curry is out cold, and his troops have to drag him back into the mouse hole and retreat. Clara and the Nutcracker get to properly meet now and have a conversation. She rightfully thinks she's dreaming. That would be my first assumption as well. But the Nutcracker informs her that she's awake. This is real. And Clara asks him to change her back. But he can't because then the film would be over. And he tells Clara only the Sugar Plum Princess can make her human-sized again.
Frankie.
We'll
Frankie
get to
looked
it.
at me.
We'll get to it.
No. I'm saying it now. Frankie looked at me and goes, "Did they say princess?"
Oh yeah, because it's usually fairy.
Correct.
Yeah. And I was like, "Yes, they said princess." He's like, "What's with that lore change?"
Yeah, they can't just be changing the lore here. All right, Barbie, I gotta learn your lore, and now you're changing actual lore. That's too much. Too much lore.
Mm-hmm. For a self-insert fanfic.
Yeah, Barbie's doing a self-insert fanfic. This whole movie is just her writing her fanfiction for her sister.
Then let her be a princess.
No, because then you're changing the lore. And she
Too much
definitely
self-insert.
didn't, whenever we got into this movie, she didn't put, like, AU in, like, the tags or anything, or, like, non-canonical.
Yeah.
Oh my
None of that.
god.
Although I don't remember the hero of the original Nutcracker being Gingerbread Boy, so maybe we just didn't notice the AU tag.
It could have been buried in there.
Yeah.
During this conversation, we also learn that the Nutcracker wasn't always a Nutcracker. He was once a human who was cursed by Tim Curry. Enter an owl, who was a wooden sculpture on the grandfather clock.
Immediately, once Frankie saw the Nutcracker, he's like, "That's Ken."
No,
We'll get
I
to
thought
that.
I didn't think it when I first saw it. We'll get to that later. That's a later situation.
But this owl fucking was a little bitch, according to Frankie as well.
This is also a later situation. I'll explain my reasonings later, Hannah.
I want to know now, though.
No.
It has to
Yeah,
wait
you
till
gotta
later
wait.
because it's a big spoiler.
Yeah, you gotta wait.
Okay. This owl tells Clara and the Nutcracker that they must travel to an island that lies in the Sea of Storms to find the Sugar Plum Princess. We have our quest. This is the plot for the rest of the film. But before Clara and the Nutcracker depart, the owl gives Clara a locket. The locket is magic and will transport her home once the quest is complete. So through the mouse hole our couple goes. And they get transported to an ice cave where they meet Kelly the Snow Fairy, who does absolutely nothing at all. And then they watch the Snow Fairy portion of the Nutcracker Ballet.
Oh, this is also when they went down the Ice Age slide, so that was fun.
The scene ends with the Winter Fairies forcing Clara and the Nutcracker together, and then giving them a way out of the cave that they were trapped in. Viewers learn the land our characters are in is called Parthenia, and Tim Curry is going to destroy it unless someone stops him. As Clara and the Nutcracker are walking, a bat overhears their conversation, and this bat is a snitch and reports to Tim Curry.
Whoa. Do not call me a snitch.
The bat and the snitch.
so much to this bat, it was not even funny. First of all, when this bat flies, it looks like it's having a seizure. Which, I feel like I don't need to tell you guys why I relate to it, but I do. He then proceeds, once he's snitching, right, to eat a whole thing of fruit that was just thrown on a tray. Within seconds. Also me. He also talks like I talk. At least to most people.
Amanda was really relating to this bat during the whole movie. I just gotta say that. Also, I have some comments that I forgot to give you about Parthenia. Is that what it's called?
Yes.
One, when we first see it, it looks like someone's MS Paint project. Point that out. Someone got on some MS Paint, and then Peanut Gallery pointed this out, and I agreed. I concurred. The castle looks like they just put a castle on top of Pride Rock. And then they were like, "All right, we're good. We've got our land.
Everything the light touches.
Everything the light
kingdom,
touches.
Barbie.
Everything the light touches is Tim Curry's kingdom."
How I want it to be. Our heroes travel to the gingerbread village, which has been destroyed. Here, they meet Marzipan, the owner of the Pink Pony Club, and two annoying children.
Frankie, read your note.
Oh yeah, this is what I told the best joke of the movie. So they find a doll, right?
Yeah.
In the village, just laying there, and then when they meet Marzipan, then they start getting attacked by the children.
Yeah, the children throw snowballs at Barbie and the Nutcracker.
And they realize it's children, and Barbie goes, "Wait," and holds up the doll, and I looked at Amanda and I went, "Wait, we have a hostage." That would have been an amazing line if that's what Barbie had said.
Oh, that would have been so good.
Tears coming from my eyeballs.
And then I saw the clothing that the boy was wearing, and I got distracted by that.
Would you like to describe that?
He's just dressed
describe
as a
these
gingerbread
children,
man.
Franklin.
If you listen, the girl's fine. She looks like a fucking candy scraper. It's weird. It's stupid, but whatever.
It's Kelly again, also.
It could
Kelly.
be a normal outfit. The boy with his bowl cut.
So that's part of the outfit.
This kid's got a bowl cut, and then if you made a kid wear a gingerbread man costume, but it's not a costume, that's just his normal clothes.
It's a onesie. He has a gingerbread onesie on.
He has a gingerbread onesie on, and legitimately, the credits name the character just Gingerbread Boy. That's his official name in the movie.
He's based off of Tommy.
His name's Gingerbread
Frankie's correct.
Boy. God, what a fucking film this is.
These children.
I'm gonna watch that part in a minute.
I think the next Barbie film we watch, I have to watch with Frankie now.
Oh my god, Hannah, it was so fucking funny. Oh.
So these two children give Clara and the Nutcracker the lay of the land. Tim Curry has destroyed the gingerbread village. He's taken all the villagers prisoner, save for these two who were out foraging with Marzipan. And all of it is Prince Eric's fault. This is the first time we're hearing about Prince Eric, and he was apparently a shitty person. His father had been the king before Tim Curry took over, and when the king died, he left his golden scepter in the hands of Tim Curry until Eric could prove himself to be a good leader. Except, name a movie where Tim Curry isn't the villain.
Technically, in
there are a few.
I mean, technically in Clue, if you watch one with, two of the three endings, he is the hero, protagonist.
But you hear Tim Curry's voice in an animated feature, and you go, yes, that's the villain.
The Wild Thornberries?
Oh,
I'm
he's got a
sorry.
point.
I forgot about that one.
He's got a point. Sorry, we were thinking about Hexus. We were thinking about the evil penguin guy from Pebble and the Penguin. Like,
He also is Darth Sidious in the animated Clone Wars series.
that too.
He is usually a villain.
Listen, 9 times out of 10, Tim Curry is the villain. So he's never going to give up his power. And that's what happens in this movie. Because Prince Eric has disappeared and no one seems to care about finding out what happened to him.
We'll get a nice little glimpse of Prince Eric at the end. After getting a glimpse of Prince Eric, I understand why nobody went looking for him. I get it.
We'll talk about this later. The duo take the 2 kids with them, and a minute later, we have run into the mouse army.
Literally less than a minute, I want to say.
Yeah. Time has supposed to have, gone on. They're supposed to travel for a little bit, but it's instantaneous, the way this film is set up.
Yeah, they run into the mouse army, and their first reaction, let's abandon Marzipan, the horse. Fuck
Marzipan runs off.
They've left the horse. They've abandoned the horse.
They abandoned this horse multiple times throughout this film.
That is a big issue of contention for Frankie as well.
Yeah. We'll get to that as well.
Right now, we get a chase scene through the woods, and the main characters are rescued by some people living in the trees. Clara and the Nutcracker are questioned by 2 men. Their names are Major Mint and Captain Candy. Major Mint just trash talks Eric for the entirety of this scene, and that is the only thing of importance that happens.
We find out that Captain Candy was also friends with Prince Eric.
Okay, that is true. Candy was a friend, but he apparently doesn't care enough to have looked for his friend.
I think he was a little busy making sure the guy with Alzheimer's stays in line.
So I have a question. Do you 2 think that Captain Candy and Major Mint are in a relationship?
God, no.
No?
No?
I hope not.
The man almost killed Captain Candy at one point.
Here's the thing. I was picking up toxic relationship vibes. So I took to Google. And the internet agrees with me.
Yeah, but I don't like the implications of them being in a relationship, because that's an age difference that I just can't get behind.
They're boyfriends.
The internet also believes that the Earth is flat, like a majority of them. So, no, Hannah. No.
Nope, the boyfriends join Clara and the Nutcracker on their journey. We then cut to Tim Curry in the bat again. He's really upset.
I am that bat, Hannah. Please.
Okay, we cut to Tim Curry and Amanda.
Thank you. I do have the peanut gallery in here. Mom, can you testify this?
Frankie was present during the realization that you were the bat.
Yeah, but you were the one that first recognized
The
it.
fact that you eat like the bat is absolutely that was the convincing point for me.
It wasn't the seizure flying?
No, because you can't fly.
No, because I can't fly. Okay, cool.
Tim Curry is really mad that his army didn't capture our 2 heroes of the story.
As you would be as a ruler. You give one
Yes.
order.
Yes. This whole army regiment fucked up and didn't capture them. So he does what all good rulers do, and that's turn these 2 army dudes into bookends.
Yeah, he also mentioned you guys were also dumb enough to come back and report to me your failures, which was even
He does say
stupider.
that. Just say we're still on the case. We're still tracking him. And in this scene, we see that Tim Curry has turned most of the population and parts of his army into various stone objects. Tim Curry proceeds...
Whoa. Frankie did, I don't think he put this in his notes, but when we looked at the statues, right? We looked at the garden statues. We looked at the statues that were in the hall. When we looked at the paperweights that were in the closet, Frankie is correct. There is some room still in that closet.
They should have the paperweights, and the badge says there's not enough room. There is enough room. You could add 2 more paperweights in that closet.
Yeah, you could have.
I've seen no books in this entire castle, so I don't think they need the bookends.
No, the books are there. They're just all on the floor.
We see one book where he's looking at the registry for the Sugar Plum Princess.
You see multiple books.
I only see one book.
He tore his library apart.
They're all on the floor. You didn't pay attention, Frankie.
He does need the bookends. Tim Curry gets to chew the scenery a little bit before turning a stone column into a golem, who he promptly sends to kill Clara and the Nutcracker. And Amanda gets sent with the golem.
I have a question for you about this golem, because Amanda and I debated this.
Okay.
Does the rock giant have a rock giant mustache? I think he does. I think this rock giant has a rock giant mustache.
I think his jaw is just very, very far forward.
Let me look him up. Because I do not remember what his face looks like exactly, because I was taking notes.
Look at his face, he's got a rock giant mustache. And I think it's pretty classy of him to have a rock giant mustache.
He just has a very forward set jaw.
No, he's got a rock giant mustache.
Hannah.
I'm looking at the images now. Hang on. No, I don't think he has a mustache.
You don't think that thing is a mustache?
No. I think he's clean shaven.
Alright.
Victory, my name is Amanda.
Back to the heroes once again. Clara and the Nutcracker are having a bit of heart-to-heart, which is mainly Clara telling the Nutcracker that she knows he's Prince Eric. Every time someone brings up Prince Eric, this dude just gets really, really quiet and uncomfortable. It was obvious. We haven't met any attractive male human to go with Barbie, so, the Nutcracker kind of had to be changed into the love interest.
Nah, Barbie could have got together with Captain Candy.
But they're boyfriends. Captain Candy and Major Mint.
Why couldn't we have a poly relationship?
Because it's 2001, we can barely accept gay people.
I call bullshit.
The following morning, the squad is journeying off to find the Sugar Plum Princess. They come across a floating rock bridge that's over a ravine, and Major Mint almost kills his boyfriend because he falls backwards, steadies himself, and Captain Candy is what he fell into. So Captain Candy is hanging onto a branch for dear life. Thankfully, the Nutcracker just rips his arm off and holds it down for Captain Candy to grab, while Major Mint has no clue what he's done. Major Mint is such a toxic boyfriend that he puts the blame on his partner for the near-death experience. And now we've reached the shores of the Sea of Storms. Candy and Mint go off to acquire a boat, while Clara and the Nutcracker go off for supplies. In actuality, the Nutcracker is trying to romance Clara. He's like, I'm going to show you this really pretty well that's over here. Except Tim Curry has destroyed the valley and made it into a desert, and the well the Nutcracker wants to show Clara has been locked up. The Nutcracker proceeds to open the well, and out come a horde of spring fairies who were trapped inside the well. They remake the valley and dance for the couple. And they try to force Clara and the Nutcracker to kiss, but the golem appears before they can do so.
And they're lucky that golem appeared, because they just had all those apples on the ground and no way to carry them back.
Also, how are the Nutcracker and Clara going to kiss? He has no lips.
Well, she'll kiss him.
The pair go running back to the shore. Candy and Mint have acquired a boat, but the golem destroys it. Doesn't matter, we do not get any fight sequence with the golem, because The winter fairies from earlier have appeared. Marzipan must have got them because she's coming back and she's still hooked up to the sled. The winter fairies...
I thought the winter fairies summoned Marzipan.
I don't know how they knew.
That's how powerful they are.
We can believe they are that powerful. I don't know who summoned who. The winter fairies split up, half of them distracting the golem, while the other half free the entire sea of storms for the squad to escape. Except the fairies didn't do a great job with the golem because he follows the main characters and chases them over the frozen ocean. And the ice is so thick, the golem, who has to be, I don't know, how many tons do you think the golem is?
Whoa, let's not fat shame this guy.
I think 2 tons.
2 tons? I don't think he's fat, I just think he's thick. The golem is able to run across the frozen sea without any issue. So the Nutcracker has this great idea. He jumps off of the carriage, he rams his sword into the ice, causing it to crack, and then he literally drowns the golem. Like, the golem just sinks, because he's rock. So, Prince Eric is a murderer.
But then we'd have to go into the debate of whether or not this golem had a soul, and if having a soul makes you a murderer, and is it okay, because it was self-defense?
I would assume he would just plead self-defense, and then also, hey, I'm the ruler of this kingdom. I don't assume there's, like, checks and balances in place to stop him from murdering anyone.
Well, they have a rat in charge, so I don't think there are.
Yeah.
To be fair, there's no checks and balances in the United States anymore either, so.
That's true. Anyway, it seems like the squad is home free, but Amanda, the bat, has followed them and is eavesdropping on the conversation by holding on to the back of the carriage where no one can see her.
Damn right I am.
Although I don't know what you're reporting back on, other than the Nutcracker's worries, because there's not much to tell right now other than, hey, he killed a golem and...
The whereabouts.
Yeah, she's reporting that they've reached the island of misfit toys.
Right now, they're just traveling the ocean. They're just in the middle of a frozen ocean. But they have a long while to go still, and they're lost in the fog. And the bat left before they reached the island.
He knows where they're at.
Obviously, the characters do reach the island. The minute they step foot on the island, Captain Candy and Major Mint fight some more. And Captain Candy thinks his friend the Nutcracker should be the leader, and I think Candy should just dump Mint right then and there. So onward they continue, with the Nutcracker now in charge. And they find a beautiful pink palace, which is the home of the Sugar Plum Princess. Just kidding. It's a trap.
Frankie,
I was genuinely shocked by this. Yeah. Genuinely shocked.
So you're shitting on this film when it has a great frame narrative and a twist?
Okay, you're saying great frame narrative as if that's true. It has a frame narrative and a twist.
Frankie was legitimately, he's like, whoa, what was this?
I was legitimately shocked by the trap, though. I wasn't expecting that.
You weren't expecting the men to end up in a cage and a bunch of bats to fly them off to Tim Curry's palace?
I was not expecting that.
You weren't expecting Marzipan to be stranded on this island?
Listen, my last note of this entire thing is they never got Marzipan off the island. They just fucked that horse over.
He was still talking about it. It was my night, and we watched this. And as I was putting on the K-drama that we were going to watch,
I was still upset about this horse.
He was just bitching about Marzipan being
trapped. Marzipan.
They just abandoned the horse.
Before Marzipan is abandoned, Clara thinks about opening her locket and just going home as is. But the spring fairies fly to the island and stop her. They carry this girl off the island with a vine swing. And Marzipan is forgotten about. The fairies fly Clara straight to Tim Curry's palace, which Clara immediately infiltrates, no problem at all. Then we cut to the tree people, and the fairies are starting an uprising against Tim Curry. Back at the palace, Tim Curry is planning on burning the Nutcracker alive. Clara descends into the dungeon, tricks a pair of guards, and then frees her friends, who are trapped behind a wall that makes them invisible. But she's so smart that she realizes that Tim Curry must have something valuable in this dungeon cell, because there were 2 guards outside that she just tricked. So she decides to just grab a sconce and starts hitting around the room until she breaks this invisible wall. And her friends are now freed. And that took literally 3 minutes.
Yeah, I can't believe none of the doors to the dungeon are locked.
There are no locks in this palace. By the time Clara and her friends get back upstairs, Tim Curry has managed to stop the peasant uprising, and now all the villagers are in his palace just in time to watch the Nutcracker and Tim Curry fight. And Tim Curry is OP, and he beats up the Nutcracker.
Of course.
And then Clara steps in.
Well, because he had Rita Repulsa grow her monster, so he used Rita Repulsa's monster growth to make himself bigger.
He did grow in size, and Clara is about to be shrunk by Tim Curry again, but the Nutcracker is able to save her just in time by reflecting the spell off of his sword and back onto Tim Curry, who then scurries away into the sewer as a teeny tiny mouse. Clara and the Nutcracker kiss, and he changes back into his human form.
Yeah, it's not an actual kiss.
It's barely a kiss.
She pecks him on the cheek.
Mm-hmm. But it's enough. Because Clara then transforms into the Sugar Plum Princess. And everyone is freed from Tim Curry's curse, and the world is back to normal.
And this is where I called the owl a little bitch.
Explain.
The owl is a fucking liar. Obviously knows that Barbie, Clara, whatever, is the Sugar Plum Princess, but instead goes, hey guys, listen, what I'm gonna need you to do is cross this ocean, this sea of storms, that is almost impossible to cross, and you're probably gonna die crossing it, but I'm gonna need you to do that, to find the Sugar Plum Princess, when the Sugar Plum Princess has been there the whole fucking time.
It was a journey of self-discovery.
I don't give a shit. The owl's a little bitch.
At this point, everyone starts busting out some Nutcracker ballet moves. Major Mint and Captain Candy, I think, do parts of the Russian dance. And then Clara and Eric have a ballet dance sequence, a duet. But this is not... Go ahead.
Frankie and me have no comments on the dance scenes. Really could care less about both of them.
We're still not done with this story, though.
Yeah, Eric, at this point, though, Frankie, once, the day is saved, Frankie's like, there's 20 more minutes left of this movie.
Yeah, I was so confused. I was like, what the fuck is going on?
Well, Eric essentially proposes to Clara, and Clara rejects him.
Wait, we haven't talked about this fucker not being Ken.
No, he's not Ken.
He becomes human, and I thought, oh, it's Ken. And then they reveal him, and I was like, that's not Ken. Why?
Because it's Eric.
Okay, and her name's Clara. So?
Because Barbie already has a Ken in real life, and this is her fanfic.
You see, Barbie just really likes Prince Eric from The Little Mermaid, So she did some character assassination on him in her fanfic.
Okay.
Eric proposes. Clara rejects his ass, which smart move because I feel like Eric would be a shit partner. And Clara decides she just wants to go home. But what's that in the sky? Is it a bird? Is it a plane? No!
Wait,
It's
is it Tim Curry?
It's Tim Curry! It's a bat and a rat! Tim Curry has returned, and he steals Clara's locket and releases all the magic. Now, Frankie.
Yeah.
Is this what you had an issue with?
What do you mean?
What did you have an issue with about the magic locket?
I didn't have an issue with the locket.
Oh, I thought that's what you had an issue with.
No, I had an issue with the owl being a little bitch and not telling anyone anything and almost killing them. I had an issue with Clara being willing to just, like, abandon her entire family for a wooden man.
I will say you did have an issue with the locket. Because once the owl grabbed the locket from the ornament, you were like, why is there a necklace on a loose ornament?
That was the only thing. Yeah, I did have an issue with the entire, like, why does the ornament have just, like, a necklace? Like a loose necklace. That seems like a bad design for a Christmas ornament. 2, why are we still fucking vandalizing this tree?
What I have an issue with is how everyone in this scene reacts. Tim Curry releases all the magic in the locket, and all it does is send Clara home, which she literally was about to do.
No, she agreed to marry him, right? I thought she
No,
agreed
she
to marry
rejected him. She says, no, I want to go home.
I don't think she does, Hannah.
Yeah,
No,
I'm
she
pretty sure
rejects
she
him.
accepts it.
No,
let me look at
she
this.
says,
Let me
I'm
double
sorry,
check my facts.
I want to go home.
Hannah, I think you might have got this wrong.
No, I'm fairly certain she says, nah, I'm leaving.
I'm double checking right now. Give me 1 second. Because I have this on YouTube.
Because, like, she's upset at the end when, like, she thinks that she'll never see Eric again.
But she said she rejected him.
Clara, this locket was supposed to take me home, but in my heart, I feel I'm already there.
Yeah. She just says that line. She doesn't want to go home.
Hannah, you're wrong.
I'm wrong.
See, that's why I have my note of she's going to abandon her family for this wooden man to live in this MS Paint world.
I feel like I'm having a Mandela effect right now.
Yeah,
Did
Hannah,
you watch
you're
the
wrong.
wrong movie?
I did
you
not.
watch a different version of the movie?
I feel like I did because I watched
Hannah?
this.
The Hannah cut.
I watched this on Internet Archive. Is this like a fanfic of a fanfic?
I rented mine, so.
That is true. We rented it. You rented it on YouTube.
And the closed captioning, Frankie's like, turn on closed captioning for me. And then we immediately turned it off. Because they were out of
The captions were happening like a full minute before the line was actually said.
Oh,
Yeah.
lovely. How lovely.
She's back in the real world now, thank God.
Mm-hmm.
She has left the MS Paint world and is back in Victorian London. She wakes up on the couch. She's human again. She's the right size. And she begins looking for the Nutcracker. Her grandfather and Tommy walk in, and she begins telling him about everything that happened.
Frankie, what is your note here?
I said, Claire's gonna get her ass sent to an insane asylum.
I wrote, Grandpa is ready to lobotomize Clara.
Grandpa is also still in this scene insisting that China's not real, because he goes, oh, you're listening to your aunt's stories.
Speaking of Aunt Elizabeth, she walks in with a random man named Eric.
He's not random, though.
He's not random. He is Prince Eric. And he goes right up to Clara and kisses her hand, which Granddad is not pleased with. Eric has taken liberties with Clara's virtue, so, you know, they're going to have to get married now.
I think that was the plan.
Well, yeah. That's why Aunt Elizabeth invited him in, but Grandpa is not pleased.
Which leads me to believe that Aunt Elizabeth is very familiar with Eric, which means that she didn't actually go to China.
She went to this place, yeah, you're right.
She went to this place.
Elizabeth invites Eric to stay for dinner. Grandpa relents and everyone leaves the room save for Eric and Clara. And this is the point in the film where we realize that Prince Eric and Eric are one and the same as he drops the locket into Clara's hands. The story ends with the pair dancing a waltz, and the framing narrative drops as we're transported.
I was upset about Marzipan being abandoned forever, because now we realize that he is Prince Eric and this was all real. We've just abandoned a horse on an island.
We've also abandoned the whole country.
And then, well, I assume they'll go back. I don't really care about this country. And Gingerbread Boy especially. But you know who me and Monique really did care about? Let me tell you.
Marzipan.
No. Well, yeah, Marzipan. But also, we were super upset about, because this is Christmas morning, and this kid is into the room with the presents, and then told, actually, your sister's gonna dance with this random guy that no one's ever met before. You don't get to open presents now. Fuck you. This is, actually, you don't know this, Hannah, this is actually the origin story of the evil green Power Ranger, Tommy. That's who that kid grows up to be, because he didn't get to open his Christmas presents. He got teased with Christmas presents, and then they said, you don't get to open them now, actually. They bullied that kid. I feel bad for Tommy now. Now, Tommy, allowed to eat as many gingerbreads as he wants.
Well, they're going right off to Christmas dinner. That's the way Aunt Elizabeth, she invites him to Christmas dinner, so we must be going straight to eat now.
No. This is obviously early in the morning still.
Sometimes you eat an early dinner on the holidays.
Yeah, but also, they're just gonna have to entertain him until dinner at like 4.
This is a ridiculous thing to do to Tommy.
Tommy's going to poison the food.
Eric he's still a jerk. He still doesn't deserve to be king. He's ruining Tommy's Christmas. He abandoned this horse on the island. Disgusting. This is disgusting.
We're back with Barbie, and Kelly, and they're talking about perseverance, because that was the whole point of Clara's story.
Yeah, Marzipan has to persevere.
I'm gonna get you a shirt that says Justice for Marzipan.
There should be justice for Marzipan.
He would 100% wear it, too.
I would.
I know what I'm getting you for Christmas.
That's fine. I'll wear it. I'll proudly wear that shirt.
Barbie and Kelly stand up and return to practicing the ballet. And this time, Kelly is matching Barbie's moves perfectly. And that's the end of Barbie and the Nutcracker.
What a movie that I've been forced to watch.
I have been looking forward to your thoughts all week.
Got 2 out of 5. 2 out of 5. So
4 out
of 10.
Oh, I just got a notification on my phone. There's an asteroid warning. There's a 1 in 50 chance of an asteroid hitting Earth.
Where?
God, let it happen.
Where on Earth?
It just says, scientists warns there's a 1 in 50 chance of an asteroid 2024 YR4 striking Earth. That's the name of the asteroid.
I figured it wasn't an alert from the year 2024. Otherwise, hey, you guys are a little slow on the alerts.
It's estimated between... Okay, well...
What's it, millions of years away?
December 22nd, 2032.
Tommy's still not gonna get to open his Christmas presents. Damn it! Fuck! Tommy!
Do you want a shirt that says Justice for Tommy as well?
Yeah, justice for Marzipan needs more justice, because, like, he's a horse, and you just abandoned him on an island.
We're gonna start the hashtag Justice for Marzipan over on Instagram. Join into the cause.
So I guess, are we gonna these movies, Hannah? Are you gonna rank them?
We will be doing a bit of a ranking.
Okay.
But before I do that, I want to mention...
There's not much of a ranking here.
Yeah, it's not much of a ranking right now. No. The ranking this time is kind of boring.
It's number one.
Yeah. Top and bottom. Before we get to the ranking, I want to mention something that was on the Barbie Movies Wiki that were called goofs. These are little mistakes in the animation to look for on your next watch.
Does it just say the movie? Goofs.
Franklin.
The whole thing.
Go sit in the corner.
Now you guys know how I feel when you guys dish my shit.
I thought this section would be fun to add. I don't know if there are going to be any goofs in the future. I hope so, and that's kind of just why I included these ones. As we know, Clara kicks her shoe at the Mouse King's head while she hangs from the garland around the fireplace. When she falls down and lands on a pillow, the shoe is back on her foot with no sign of her having retrieved it. When the Mouse King's army is chasing Clara, the Nutcracker, Gingerbread Boy, and Knockoff Kelly, as they're running through the forest, the mouse army would have seen them go up the rope ladder. And finally...
mice can't see up. Little known fact about mice.
They are pretty much blind also, so, there's that. When the Mouse King turns his scepter into a sword, it is gold. But when he leans towards the soldiers, it is all silver. In the following shot, it is gold again. That's it for Barbie Goofs. Are we ready to rank?
Yeah, where are you putting it in your ranking?
We're gonna have 3 rankings.
My god.
Yeah. I'll keep track of them, don't worry. We're gonna obviously rank the films themselves. Then we're gonna rank the villains, because I think the villains in these films are wild. And then, because this is Barbie, we're going to rank her dress. We're gonna rank the featured dress of the film. So for this one, it would be the Sugar Plum Princess fit at the end.
Alright, Sugar Plum Princess dress they're all number one.
Yeah, right now, Barbie and the Nutcracker is the number 1 Barbie film. Tim Curry as the Mouse King is our number 1 villain. And honestly, it is going to be hard to beat Tim Curry. And our top dress is Barbie's Sugar Plum Princess fit.
This has been very exciting, Hannah, I assure you.
You sound so enthused.
I had a lot of fun watching this movie, to be fair. It wasn't a good movie, but I did have fun with my little jokes.
I feel like I need to watch the next one with you.
Maybe. It's an experience. Amanda will tell you.
Yeah, it is quite good.
I hope the next one ranks higher for you, Frankie.
What is the next one? What's the next?
I want to say movie? It is Barbie.
Barbie and Rapunzel.
In Rapunzel, yes.
Oh, we're gonna go to Rapunzel.
Mm-hmm.
Well then.
But that won't be for quite a while.
Okay. Well, while we wait for Barbie Rapunzel to make its appearance on the show, next week is Amanda's episode.
And it's a very special episode because it's episode 69.
Amanda, tell the good folks what are we doing.
Frankie says this is going to be hard to do on an audio format.
I don't think it'll be hard to do. I just don't think it's as good of an episode as an audio.
There's not much we can do about that. So y'all are just going to have to use your imagination. But next week we will be doing Smash or Pass with famous food mascots. Who are you going to fuck? I do have a caveat. You guys have to smash at least 5.
That's not a
that
rule
is too
in Smash
many.
Or Pass.
Yeah.
Nope.
Sorry. That's not a rule in Smash or Pass.
It is in mine.
You can't create new rules.
I am the host. I dictate.
I will smash or pass as many as I want to smash or pass.
You can smash more.
But here's the thing. Putting it at 5 is what's the word I'm looking for? I've been bad at words today.
Well, I can't help you with that.
I know you can't help me with that. It's inauthentic, because what if I just don't want to smash, and I gotta lie to the people? You're gonna make me a liar?
What if we only want 4 of them? Then you're saying I have to have a 5th?
Yeah.
But that's a lie. You've made Hannah a liar now as well.
Nah, it's gotta be like a backup plan.
We mean a backup plan. I don't have backup plans for smashes.
You should.
It's a yes or a no.
I for at least for our purposes, I have a PowerPoint presentation.
Oh, you'll have to send that to me.
Why?
So that
You'll have
you
to
can
send that to
see them.
each of us.
Oh, I'm not. There's a share screen button on here.
Yeah, but recording it and then editing it. See, that's the issue. You can't, if you share it with us and then it records, it's going to record the shared screen and then it's going to mess with the editing.
I'll see what I can do.
Just email it to us.
I'll think about it.
Please just email it to us. I'm begging you. Do not make it harder to edit that episode. All right. Well, join us next week for Master Pass of Food Mascots. This episode is over, I guess. We've gone through Barbie and the Nutcracker. What a time it was. As of recording, we are on YouTube and Spotify. If you're listening to us on YouTube, remember to like, comment, and subscribe. Hit that bell for a notification for when each episode is uploaded. If you're listening to us on Spotify, remember to follow the show and leave a rating and review. That will help us out a lot. Hannah, what do you want the question for the episode to be?
Smash or pass the Nutcracker?
As the Nutcracker, though.
Yes.
Not as Eric.
No, the Nutcracker.
That's an immediate pass for me as Eric. But
I would also pass.
It
on
is
Eric?
a very quick pass.
Anyway, so yeah, smash or pass on the Nutcracker as the Nutcracker. But the Barbie Nutcracker, not any other Nutcracker. Not just some random Nutcracker wandering the streets. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
Smash or pass Prince Eric as the Nutcracker.
Anyway, whether you're listening to us on Spotify or YouTube, please remember to share the show. We would very much appreciate that as well. If you would like to send us an email with some questions that you'd like us to answer, any ideas for topics of shows, any comments you just want to give to us through email in a longer form, you can do so you can send us an email to our email address, which is
Nothing to See Here podcast at gmail.com. As always, here is spelled Hear.
if you would like to see some great artwork done by Amanda, some funny memes created by Hannah, and some images of the things that we discuss in the episodes, you can see all of that on our Instagram page, which is at
Nothing to See Here pod. Come see Barbie's Family Tree. Come see Justice for Marzipan.
Marzipan deserves justice. Okay? And this family tree, I'm dreading watching this video later tonight. I think that's all the business to take care of, though. So, like I said, join us next week when Amanda makes us play a horrifying game of Smash or Pass.
It's not horrifying. You'll be fine.
I'm horrified already, Amanda.
I'm honestly, I was just gonna have the character, but I think I might Rule 30 floor some of these too.
I don't want
Oh,
Rule 34
Lord.
of them.
Oh, no.
Because that's unfair. You gotta Smash or Pass the original character. I don't want them being all sexy.
I'll think about it.
I don't want a sexy version of them. I want the original version. Have they earned the smash? You gotta earn a smash, alright? You can't just be giving them away willy-nilly.
Let me just make a point, okay? Sometimes, I'm pretty sure there are some people that would smash me, but if they saw me not all ready and prepared, it might be different.
Anyway, we will be playing that game. So, yay, woo! That's the end of this episode, though, so goodbye and good night. It's Frankie.
It's Hannah.
I'm a bat that eats a lot of food.
Goodbye, everyone.
Bye.